can't really judge anybody, for doing porn because it's a job, just like any other job. Is it morally wrong? I mean, that's a debate for another time. But then WWE would become a public traded company, and then they later would become even a PG publicly traded company. So they kind of distanced themselves from China. Even after China got out of porn, which I think was in 2013, she retired from doing porn. But WWE had already created such a gap between them and her that when she tried, I think like a couple years ago, to go and talk to Triple H. Remember when Ultimate Warrior died in 2014? Well, she showed up at the funeral. China did. She talked to Triple H personally, I guess, to apologize for all the stuff that went wrong between them, because even before they were in a relationship, before they were a couple, they were really good friends. And I guess she went to try to like apologize and soothe the relationship between not only her and Triple H, but her and WWE. And that just, WWE just wasn't trying to hear it, for whatever reasons. Do you think, or were they wrong for that? Maybe. Maybe they should have heard her out and tried to let China come back into the fold. And, because they're PG and because they're. Now, a lot of people will say, well, they let rapists or convicted rapists or convicted people that have been convicted of assault, like Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather, they let certain people be in the Hall of Fame, because Mayweather isn't Mayweather in the Hall of Fame? Mayweather might not be in the Hall of Fame yet, but I know Mike Tyson is in the WWE Hall of Fame. They let those people in, but then they want to acknowledge China or let China be in the WWE Hall of Fame. A lot of people would say that, and to that I say you got a good point. I think they kind of judge and choose who they decide to let in and who they decide to kind of shun and get away from. But it's WWE though. That's how they do things, And I'm a WWE fan, but when you're right, you're right, and when you're wrong, you're wrong. And maybe, they have been wrong for denying China this long, especially after she stopped doing porn. Maybe, they could have had at least a conversation where maybe her doing a DVD, a wrestling DVD, not a porn DVD, obviously, but a wrestling DVD, like they're doing for the Dudley Boys. I know that comes out in a couple months, or Sting, or whatever. And brought her back as, gave her like a Legends contract. Because she is a legend. Even though she was only around for a short amount of time, she had so many good accomplishments that she is a legend. She is. I mean, she's Hall of Fame material for sure. I was telling my friend Crystal that when she commented on my post and said, I hope she gets into the Hall of Fame next year. I'm going to be mad. And I'm like, I don't know if she's going to get in next year, but she's definitely getting in the Hall of Fame. Now, I don't see how they don't put her in the Hall of Fame. It's going to be a huge backlash against WWE. And WWE gets a backlash all the time, but I don't know. I think they kind of have to induct her in the Hall of Fame now. At least consider it. Whereas before this happened, and it's sad that it took her passing away for them to consider it, but I think they have to at least think about it now. And so hopefully she goes into the Hall of Fame next year. She's that one female. They usually do at least one female. And hopefully they let it be China. And it would be really nice and gracious if Triple H or Triple H and Shawn Michaels if they did that themselves, they were the two to induct her. Because they brought her into the company, they brought her into the business. I think that's the least they could do is induct her to the Hall of Fame, because that's what she wanted, before she passed, was just to get back in the WWE. And so it's just the right thing for them to do, I think. I think Crystal, my friend Crystal, is completely 100% right. Shout out to Crystal, by the way. Crystal, you gotta come on my show soon. They gotta put Chyna in next year. I don't think obviously you're not gonna make her the headliner or anything, but she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And somebody else that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, by the way, that they don't even acknowledge this guy, and it really, really irritates me. I talk about this every year when January comes up. I don't know if I went on a huge rant about it this year. I intended to. I don't know if I ever did, but I'm definitely gonna go on a rant about it next year. And he's also a person that's passed away, and I don't know. I guess they wouldn't put two people that passed away in the Hall of Fame the same year. They could, though. I mean, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. I think it's a tragedy that they have not inducted Ravishing Rick Rude into the WWE Hall of Fame. He's a major name, one of the biggest names to not go in yet. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. I know he died of an overdose also. And they don't even hardly ever even mention Rick Rude. When's the last time you've been watching WWE, watching Raw, or watching SmackDown, and you've heard JBL, or what's the dude on SmackDown, Mario Ranallo, or anybody, Baron Saxton? When was the last time you heard them even mention Rick Rude? Because I haven't, and I don't watch it all the time or every week. I still haven't watched all of Raw from this past Monday. I'm probably not going to catch up on my wrestling until I'm off Sunday, because I've been working every day, so I'm not off till Sunday. Now I gotta go back and watch Raw, but maybe they mentioned him this past Monday, but I doubt it. They just never talk about Rick Rude, and he was a major part of their company, major part of WCW, major part of other federations, and they don't even bring him up, even comparing somebody else to him. That just really bothers me. And the segue from Rick Rude back to Chyna is, Rick Rude was also one of the founding members of D-Generation X, along with Chyna. Originally, a lot of you might not remember this, but the original 4 members of D-Generation X were Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chyna, and Ravishing Rick Rude. And also, the other segue from Rick Rude to Chyna is Rick Rude also died on 4/20. He died on April 20th. And Chyna died on April 20th. And they died 17 years apart. That's the only difference. But they both died on April 20th. That's crazy how that happens, right? Isn't that kind of weird? And, for all days for her to pass away, she passed away the same day as Ravishing Rick Rude. So, not the same year, but the same day. What are the odds of that happening? So, I just think they need to induct Chyna and Rick Rude. And I think they could do it the same year. Why not? Why can't you do it? Have Triple H induct Chyna and have Shawn Michaels induct Rick Rude. And that's how you can get away with doing that. But I don't know, dude. I just called my tired of listening audience a dude. Like I'm talking to one guy. Shout out to everybody that's listening. Shout out to everyone that's been listening to all my past episodes. Thanks for sharing my episodes on Facebook. Thanks for following me on Spreaker. Everybody that listen to every single episode, or if you don't listen at all and you just share it, I appreciate that. Because at least somebody is sharing it. Maybe somebody else that's not on my friends list, that's on your friend list, will go back and listen to this show. That would mean a lot. I need as many listeners as possible. I have over 700 plays on Spreaker. So I don't know if that's good. I kind of tend to think it is, but I want to get over 1,000. I would want to get over 1,000 by the end of next week. I want to be over 1,000 listeners. So I don't know. Or 1,000 plays, not 1,000 listeners. I'm sure it's not. I know there's not 1,000 people listening to this, but anybody that listens, thank you for listening. I'm starting to ramble a little bit. I'm gonna wrap this up because I think I've said all I can say about Chyna. You know, she was just a really, really major part of the wrestling industry. So I had to do a whole episode dedicated to her. And also, I think I've always heard that people that have met her, I know I was talking to my Facebook friend Darius, shout out to Darius, and he was saying that he met Chyna at a Walmart one time, and he didn't get her autograph because it was just a weird place to meet Chyna. And he didn't know that would be the first time that he would ever meet her, and also be the last time that he would have encounter with her. And but I've always heard from anybody, any of my friends that met Chyna in the past, any of my friends in the wrestling industry, they say she was always a really nice, sweet person. And you know, she had a lot of demons. She was a little unstable, but for the most part, all you hear is positive things. I know she loved animals. She was a big animal advocate back in the day, kind of like how Lita is. Yeah, she made an impression on everybody that she came across, you know. And it just goes back to I'm gonna drop a hard F-bomb right now, but depression is a motherfucker. It really is. And people don't understand it or take it seriously. And it's just another case of, I was talking about Balls Mahoney, you know, and this is just another case of depression and drugs and alcohol, and all that stuff goes hand in hand sometimes, of it taking another wonderful, beautiful, strong, amazing person away from us. So I'm going to wrap this episode up. But in closing, I would just say that, you know, tomorrow's not promised. So everybody in your life, everybody in your family, everybody that you consider to be a dear person, you need to really tell them how much you care about them. Don't wait till tomorrow. I know I'm going to text some people today, some very special people, and let them know how important they are to me, because, you know, one of us or all of us, everybody listening, you know, who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. We could all be gone today. This could be our last day on this earth. You know, yesterday was Chyna's last day on the earth, so kind of makes you think a little bit. Sometimes I get deep on this show, and you know, my next episode will be episode 20. I'm going to be recording some of that today, maybe some of it tomorrow. I'm probably going to drop that episode tomorrow. I got a very special interview lined up. I don't know if that's going to work out today, this morning, where I'll be able to talk to this person, but hopefully it will later on this morning. And it'll be a lighter episode. I'm going to try to get back into being funny and silly and goofy. But I had to post this after hearing about what happened to Chyna. No, it's a little bit serious, but, you know, sometimes you gotta be serious and take things seriously. So that's all I got. Thank you for sharing. Share this episode. Follow me on Spreaker, and I'll see you next time on episode 20. I'll holler.